to go along with what we've been talking about. I just got a few little headlines, and then we'll get into our text, inshallah. Roadmap to Crazy Town. Roadmap to Crazy Town. That's on it. Now, to other people it has various connotations. To us, and we're not going to let people forget about this, because technically this is a pillar of our resistance characteristics. This is a pillar of our resistance characteristics, because during the most oppressive and disrespectful periods for us, that means when the system was coming to us with guns and technically up to recent, they still do, they do anything they want to against us. And it ain't no big deal, but, and you'll see some of the dates when we continue. At those most revenge-filled times, when everybody else would be thinking about revenge, our statement was, whatever's going on is a done deal. This is a done deal. And that, but the main thing we always said, la tatrabu, no revenge, no reproach. And then our asking Allah how to bring this down. Most people are going to, destroy their homes, destroy their crops, destroy. Most people, when they make dua against a tyrant, I have never read history, Quranic, biblical, Bhagavad Gita, nobody ever asked the Supreme Being, for us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to bring down the monster by making a damn fool out of it. Make them the laughing stock of the world. This is clear what we did, at least 4 or 5, I don't know, it could have been 10 times. We always asked Allah for that. We never made a dua for them to be just crushed to the ground and pay for their sins. And we never said that. We asked for this right here. Roadmap to Crazy Town. Now, anybody who's been reading the paper knows that everything that they say is hilarious. Now, I'll be truthful, I thought, like probably most of us, that the system would not allow the presidency to fall into this much insanity. Nor did we think that they would have a presidential election where the guy is talking about women's body parts, about you got small hands, so you got a small penis, you know, and low energy Bush. I mean, it was like people talking in the street, nigga, your mama this, nigga, your car is so ugly, you know what I mean? Your mama wear crooked sack drawers and high heel tennis shoes. That's what, right? That's what the election was about. I mean, that was it wasn't no deep foreign policy what we're gonna have. He wouldn't give nobody a chance to discuss nothing that meant anything. So he did the old proverb, drag people down to your level and then beat them with experience. That's what he did. That's why we don't get into arguments with the Negroes. Right. Because they got so low if you get down there, you can't beat them because they're not dealing with intelligence or nothing. They're saying, Mukhtar and Khadijah was saying whatever they wanted. And they had the crowd there to cheer them on. The whole crowd is their crew. So what's the sense of telling the crowd the truth when the whole crowd is they dummies? The crowd is gone now. But if we would have wasted our energy trying to educate that crowd, so we did the same thing and said, we said salam, and then we'd set them up. When they came with the guns, we put the word out, we're going to have a big showdown. And we're going to have popcorn, we're going to have Cracker Jacks, I shared the notes, we're going to have all of that.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we weren't going to do nothing. So they came prepared for that.
Stupid.
Hey man, yes.
But you know, earlier when you said about just, you didn't think the presidency would get to this point, but they produced it. The way they,
of course, yeah.
But they produced it before he got there. Because when they had Obama, he's the president, you still supposed to respect the office.
Yes.
And all of them, the whole Congress, disrespected him. So this is just a continuation of that on a higher level.
Yeah, this is super payback. You know. Now one thing about it is, for the system to go into a decline, we're asking Allah, and Allah put it into, it's already headed into its decline. It's already, but these, look here. They always take pictures of them all sprawled and looking crazy. A roadmap of crazy town.
Remember what we had, remember what you called one of the titles you had? You said Theater of the Absurd?
Theater of the Absurd. That's the title that we had that I liked was not Theater of the Absurd, but it was related to, they had Don in a straitjacket. Remember that one? Mm-hmm. And they was asking the question, is he crazy or are we crazy?
Right.
And they had to type psychologists, you know, the white folks' words that they use for crazy. It just makes you feel crazy even if you're perfectly sane. Rio Grande dying. Does anyone care? You know, Rio Grande River separates Texas, the U.S. from Mexico. Look at these dry spots. But that's from the people just sucking up all the water on both sides of the river. And, okay, but that's not just with that river, that's with many rivers. The natural ecosystem is being totally thrown out of whack, you know. This may be because up there in the other state, some rivers that run from the north into Mexico, at the south, the river almost stops at the border. They done sucked up so much, and they just suck up all the water all along the way. And unless it's a big torrent of water and big rain and what have you, then it'll go down and keep going a little bit into Mexico for them to have a little bit of water. But that red tide, I was looking for it and couldn't find it. The red tide, which is so related to Pharaoh and Egypt at that stage of the game. It's a red tide. And when it says here, does anyone care? It almost is the same thing like Rio Grande is going dry. Rio Grande technically means big river, Rio Grande. But it ain't Rio Grande no more. It's been a long time since it's been Rio Grande. Since it's been a big river, because they be knocking that water off. The other thing is, when they took the Turkish news, the Iranian news, and RT off the TV, just like that, and the Chinese news. I love especially the Chinese news. They always had professors and panels. It was educational. Turkey's was too, very educational. They got a certain line that wouldn't totally fit ours, but they bring so many points on that out of 10 programs, 6 of them are very educational. But when we have a diet, like for instance the Turkish going into, when they had their invasion a few months ago, several months ago, it was all in the Turkish news. How many getting killed, how many are martyrs and all that. And then you watch this news, what they say about it, it's like reading about the Iranian-Russian-Turkish meeting on September 7th, probably the 8th. Man, I can see you, it reminds you of how far the Western people are and how you can't blame them for being dumb. Because what you have to do nowadays is what the Hadith used to talk about, those who go in search of knowledge. You know, because in those days you had to go to different centers. They had a certain amount of knowledge here, you go over there, a certain amount. Or you go learn all you can from this scholar, he give you a certificate, then you learn from another scholar. After you got 4 or 5 certificates from different scholars, you know, then you pretty based and go search for knowledge even into China. Now you have to search the internet. You can't take what they feed you and think you're getting the truth. And everybody tell their people more truth than the United States does. Mm-hmm. Even they used to tell us all the Russians is lying, but the Russians have more information. Today, way more. Anybody make a decision based on ABC, CBS, CNN, got to make a wrong decision. Yes.
What did Giuliani say about the truth?
Well, truth is not, everybody knows that the truth is not the truth. That is, see, what he was trying to say is, in the courthouse you have 4 witnesses that witnessed something. They all saw the same thing, and they reported from their, because they're seeing it from their cultural and historical background. If we see a police shoot a black man, the white man might have saw it as, the nigga said, "What you doing messing with me, man?" Right? Mm-hmm. The white folks said he was resisting, he was not cooperative with the police, he scared the police. Yes.
I believe you know that it is.
Sure.
Run that thing again about what Dick Cheney said.
Oh, Dick Cheney. Yeah, Dick Cheney, this is superior to alternative truth. Y'all remember when he was they kind of boxed him in, and he said, let me tell you what this is. And remember, he's talking about there's known knowns. There's things that we know, and we know that we know. And then there's known unknowns. There's things that we know, but we don't know that we know it. And then there are known unknowns.
Right.
That there are things that we don't know, and we don't know that we don't know it. So, and then there are unknown unknowns. There are things that we don't know, and we don't know that we don't know it.
I heard Pompeo say that same thing.
Did you hear Pompeo's stuff on last month on Iran?
I definitely did.
That man. What was your feeling about it? What he was talking about?
Well, it just, he's on, definitely he's against Iran, totally. So anything he says is like he's ready to fight. He's ready to go over there and go to war.
Well, they had munafiqs there. See, munafiqeen called is the one that was advising him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying stuff that even the anti-Iranians in this boy is.
Stretching out.
Whether it's Giuliani, whether it's, what's the guy, not Ashcroft, but what was his name? That we just talked about, the known, unknown?
Cheney.
Dick Cheney. They tell people that because they disrespect them so much. What they just told about weapons of mass destruction, they're stupid enough to go over there for war and give. Why is nobody in prison? They created a genocide. The whole thing in Iraq is a RICO act, continuous, aggressive, oppressive genocide. When they went in, they knew their weapons were superior in 91, and they called it the highway of death. It was like a shooting gallery. They just took their high-tech new weapons and pushed buttons and blew them up. As far as who would want to win a fight like that? I mean, me and you gonna go in the ring with a 2-year-old child, and the child got handcuffs and leg irons on, and they're 2 years old, and we're fully developed, been working out for 50 years. It's unbelievable, but they killed all of those people. Then they put a no-fly zone on them. They put a thing on them so they could have enough power to keep the Shias intact. The depleted uranium, there's still, the children are born, some of them with 2 heads and 4 legs. I can't even look at the pictures of that stuff, it's just grotesque. And then the woman, Madeleine Albright, they said died. 750 people, 750,000 people died. She said, yeah, I think it's worth it. That's just from the sanctions, not from the war, too.
Right.
And not from the war later on, 2003. It goes back to the stuff about people get the leadership they deserve. That's why we got a big job. We got to educate the people. The people are tired of everything they're getting. They want a fair shake. They want all of this, but they don't know what to do. Nobody, you can't find a politician, a leader, that can tell the people what to do to speed up. Iraqi protesters burned Iran's consulate in Basra. Of course, when you read the Iranian press, they say it's munafiqs and U.S. agents that's doing it. This is the boy got shot down there. Black officer on police brutality. Just a byline. This is today's paper. The book is called The Black and Blue. Costs $27. The Black and Blue, a cop reveals the crimes, racism, and injustices in the law enforcement. It says down here, a former federal prosecutor is Albert Brick, professor in law at Georgetown University. He is the author of Chokehold, Policing Black Men. But there's another part of this, this is in the book review. It says something about, this is a black police officer. And it says things like, there's grounds for hundreds of indictments and trials just from this book alone. Okay, it ain't nothing new to us. But it's like Pentagon Papers, it's like the book the guy just wrote, or, you know, Roadmap to Crazy Town, Woodard, which everybody likes. Okay, he can criticize the man all he wants, but I was just like criticizing Serena yesterday. Everybody was on her side. So you criticize Woodard, and the people that he wrote about that they didn't like say, well, I didn't like what he wrote, but he was always factual. You see, so, yes.
Whatever happened? You ever hear anything else about the woman down there in Texas that shot the guy in the apartment?
I've been hearing about it. I didn't, maybe I must have just didn't cut it out. But it's supposed to be a white policewoman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Goes into she says she thought it was her apartment.
Right. It's crazy.
Huh?
That don't make sense.
No, it don't make sense. What they doing is they check the blood for alcohol and drugs.
I had just seen something before class that it was possible they were dating.
Huh?
It was possible that they were dating.
That's what I was gonna say, that they was going together. That he cheated on her or something. And she went in and killed him. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but she's a white police. And she might have thought, like Bill, I can do